Everyone, it's all working. Everyone go with it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna turn up everyone else's
Bro is capped
volumes.
at 30 FPS, bro. What is this?
I don't have my.
So it was Breach, Raise on A, Sky Chamber B, Omen C.
Okay, so I'm going on A.
Objective here is B control.
Wait, is anyone recording or like?
Yep,
She,
coaches.
nothing B.
Oh.
Alright, they're already on. Let's just do it. Bro, shut up.
Jump spotting, calling the retake, everything about that was fine.
Yo, hold on, I have an idea. Suvin and Risk.
Wait, bro. Molly this.
I can stun. I'm stunning the Reyna.
Calling stun here with your raise, that was fine.
Okay.
Careful flashing.
Sky Dog was a little bit early because your teammates aren't ready to come out of the flash. So later on in the games, I did notice that Sky was waiting for their teammates to get pushed up to where the current smoke is to be able to push off of that, which was the right move. But earlier in these rounds, I was noticing that. So making sure you get your timing down for the retake of sites is very key for the strategy to work. You have a very attack-based comp, so if one attacks and the other attacks, it's pretty easy to shut down.
Alright, I'm on blind sight.
Oh wait, I shouldn't be using that shit.
Blind here is good.
Close right, to left. Smoke the main. I'm on defuse bomb.
I think he shot from the open.
All right. One issue here I'm going to point out. There's two big ones. One thing I noticed is the breach. When he flashed and started pushing on the site, his raise was behind him, and then he stopped, and then backed away, and then the raise pushed out and died. Like, it doesn't really matter who necessarily goes first in that scenario, because the person's going to be behind you to trade. And at that point, it was what? How many people was? After Omen gets one there, it's pretty much just as everyone's trading, we're good. That'll win the round. And on pistol round, you don't need to worry about saving, so the victory is really all that matters. Second issue I saw.
Stay A.
Gosh darn it. Less. We're just gonna watch through it. Right here, there wasn't any communication that he was reloading either.
Hit 60, hit.
Right there. What's the issue with what just happened?
Breach sucks and died. That's what my issue is.
I mean, yeah, Breach could have won both those gunfights, and then that's that. But what? Let's say you're playing against tens, right? You should have lost that gunfight because realistically, it was two people, both could have killed you, and you know, so then it would have been a 2v2. But what's the issue that Omen's making here?
I'm being a dick and sticking the bomb and not trading him out.
You're being a dick, sticking the bomb and not trading him out. We talked about this earlier today. If somebody pushes onto a bomb site and just starts planting without clearing the site first, that's dumb, right? You did the exact same thing except on defusal. You ran up, you tried to stick it without clearing like right around you first. Normally there, they would play mound, but I guess they were panicked on pistol round. Not exactly sure why they were making the mistakes they were, but this could have gone a lot worse. I'm glad it did.
But yeah, but yeah, tapping is fine so that it can lure any enemies out. Just sticking is a different issue.
I'm a big fan of the tapping and then taking the 2-on-1s or the 2-on-2s. I love taking the fights, but the sticking it, that almost never works. Like that's there's some situations, yeah, when you know he's not close to the bomb or you know he's scared to push up or low health, right? But in most scenarios, sticking it doesn't work. I know they say pros don't fake, but we're not pro level, so next round.
Hey, what's about that? What you mean?
We're pro level? What you mean?
Oh, I said we aren't pro level.
No, you said we're not.
Capping.
Yeah.
Ignore them.
You just, Ethan, you just wait your turn. I'm gonna make sure you understand the mistakes you're making, alright?
Yes, Daddy.
Be patient.
Bro, I'm
Alright.
chilling. I don't know what you're on. I'm chilling, bro. Let's do D1 this time.
D1. We all remember what D1 is or no?
Do I still stay A?
Not
No.
for me. I'm sorry.
I do. I think D1 was the one where me and Breach are on A, and then I think wasn't it Chamber and Sky on B, and then Omen C.
No, that was
That's
D2.
D2,
Sky
right?
and Chamber were on C.
D2 is the one we're on C.
Yeah, and then Omen was playing B and helping whoever he needed to help.
Sky
If they
C,
were-
Omen B, Raze, and
D1. Yeah.
Yeah. So what happens is Omen's there to help with smokes however he needs, and work from
D1
there.
was Breach, Raze A, Omen B, Sky Chamber C.
Do you want this area or no?
Yeah, I'm a blinded.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, so Chamber's supposed to be C.
Chamber's absolutely lost.
Don't push up, don't push up.
I want to buy, bro.
Don't push, don't push.
I'm trying to get
Fun,
off
fun,
third
fun.
round.
This flash by
Yeah,
Sky is
one.
good.
Chamber, you play here. I'm
I'm
just
gonna
going
smoke
for
off your
contact.
contact. I'm gonna smoke off your contact.
I was 2A. I'm struggling on what to buy.
No one's going B.
B.
Omen immediately smokes and sits there. That's good. Omen immediately smoking that off the contact of the trip. Exactly what we want. It makes it hard for him to push on site. Normally you could play retake because that's what I do like. I'm trying to work on the retakes with you all, but smoking here, I like it. That's fine. No issue with that. I'm pretty sure I just saw Omen throw his blind out there. I don't like that because you didn't trade anything off of it. You didn't gain anything from using it. So using a blind there, nah. If you had waited until your teammates are ready to retake, or even if you know that's the site they're going to, then that's what you could have done. I'm sorry, I'm
patient. Okay.
Yeah, but do.
If
Bro,
they're
what do you mean
pushing,
we have to
if they're
do better?
clearly committing to the site, then he can probably flash out, try and get his pick, and hold his own. But yeah, in this case, what do you do?
2B.
yeah, he throws that flash.
Oh yeah. He can't really
And
do
then
too many after that.
first off, the flash isn't even somewhere where he can refrag, and then he dry swings it.
Yeah, but do.
That was a big Ethan moment right there.
Yeah, we all got our Ethan moments right there.
That was a big Ethan moment. And then sitting there holding the angle it's kind of a risky thing because if you're just holding this and your breach gets smoked off by Brim, right? They throw a pop flash, you're probably gonna die. They don't have Sky, luckily here, but Silverdrone run you down. And because the in between for B and A aren't broken yet, you can get ran down pretty easy.
Yeah, holding smokes is powerful when there's no pop flashes on the other team. That's one thing.
There wasn't in this case, but I don't think necessarily that was going through your mind at the moment. It was like, oh, I gotta wait for this pop flash. So I do just want to point that out for future reference.
Gotcha.
Also, I really do want to point something else out. Sky is just sitting here playing a pretty passive angle, waiting for to see if anybody crosses. Information gathering, that's good. Chambers kind of just waiting to see what happens. That's fine. Unless he's told to do something else, this works completely. And I love what Raze is doing. Raze is making sure that we still know that nobody's coming up behind the Omen to retake A, or even possibly flank him and ruin that site we have. Well, the ability to hold B from our 3 angles. Sorry, I keep pausing it because I keep thinking y'all are saying something in Discord and it's hard to differentiate the audio.
2 going doors.
I smoke in 10 seconds.
I feel like Chambers shouldn't have
Okay.
rotated more. Or actually,
I'll flash.
that's fine.
On the door.
Nothing was inherently wrong about that trade. It wasn't a very good trade or well executed, but nothing was glaringly wrong. Sky could have, instead of dogging, could have just held the angle and try to get one and then both teammates get out. Sky did die, but Chamber got his one and then got out, so that was fine. He is in kind of a bad spot because if somebody pushes up and then holds his angle, he can't really get out. You'll see you here. He gets a second one, which is great, right? It's very possible he could have lost that gunfight, but he won it, so absolutely no complaints. Now this is where I have the issue. That's the third person he's peaked without any util usage to help him.
I was trying to get out from the left side peak. That's why.
Don't
Because
get me
they would see
wrong.
me first.
You got the kill. I can only be so upset. But it's like you're peeking that you've been in waterfall this entire time. Your teammate, they've probably calmed it, and then you are still there fighting the third person, right? It
I was
was good
trying to get
shots.
out.
You hit your shots. You got your kills. I can't be that upset, right? But if you were
Yeah.
going up against a better, if you were going up against a good team, Killjoy isn't peeking by herself. Reyna's there too. You get traded out, and that goes from this really nice 4v1 that y'all have going for an easy retake to a 3v3 where your teammates are kind of displaced and might not press on the site at the same time. So just be conscious of you dying and what it will do to the round. All right?
Okay.
Nice.
See, this is the shit that we need. Like, this is the guy that we need. After a skirmish like that, this is what we need. Thank you.
And then, like I was saying, overheating on this, and then he immediately peaks it again. Has absolute no need to give him the 1v1. I know you're feeling it. You're hitting your shots, but
You're
I'm
way better.
confident here.
so
Wow, he right clicked him? That's crazy.
no, right click's OP as hell.
I swear, bro, if only my classic could do that ever, bro. Like, my classic never did that.
Do you ever set yourself up to use your classic like that?
I mean, I
True.
place on my smoke, but I never get the one tap.
So you sit in your smoke with the cheapest gun in the game.
Yes,
That's
sir.
not even meant to be used at like absolute point blank range. Use it at point blank range and wonder why it doesn't work.
I mean, like, my classic already kind of sucks. I got the K tap, and it's not the K tap, the KO classic. It's already shit, but
Well,
It's not the skin that's affecting whether you
it's
can
the
hit your
skin
fucking
about my
shots.
skin, bro.
if you're planning to
Like,
play
I've
point
been
blank,
always hitting my sheriff shots as soon as I got the mage point sheriff. Like, oh god.
Okay,
but yeah, when
Entric, you were.
playing, sorry, it's okay.
No, you go ahead. I'm just trying to like make sure he's not interrupting you.
Gotcha. Yeah, if you're playing point blank within smokes, it's better to use a shorty and do like the shorty classic switch strat, in which you have the shorty in your hand. Wait, no. You buy a shorty, you drop it on the ground, you have a classic in your hand. And when the round starts, you switch it out, and now you can have both the classic and the shorty. Because if you drop a classic on the ground and the round starts, it disappears. I don't know why it does that, but yeah, that's
It's just a simple mechanic to make sure the game
Bro,
doesn't get lagged out.
I'm always
Right,
broke.
'cause-
My wallet's done. My wallet hurt right now, so I don't got.
Also, Entric, if you like have a disagreement with me or anything like that, or have anything else you want to say, just tell me to pause it completely. Like I want to talk. Like I want to be able to communicate with everyone here. Like if somebody disagrees with something I said, like the breed, like let's say if Chamber said, well, he doesn't think he was overheating here, right? Then we
I
could
was,
talk about
though.
it. You knew you were overheating. You knew it was a
Uh-huh.
mistake. But if you wanted to argue about that, I'm not going to tell you to shut up and tell you I'm right. I'm going to like try to get the discussion going because I don't want
have a conversation. Like,
I don't want anyone to feel like I'm telling you what to do and that's the end all be all. I want to be able to help you improve and then you improve. That's how I want this to work. Right?
all good.
All right.
that's exactly how I feel.
Next round. We are currently on round 3. Round 3. Okay, a couple things. Bad execute, sky not. Well, I don't know what that is, and not breaking the door. So we're gonna go over this. I'm guessing what you did here is you did execute D4, right?
Yeah.
D4. Because I was talking to you about a really good idea to use it on eco.
Let's do D2 soon. Take the Spectre. Let's do D2.
Wait, I thought on 2 we do D4 where we do 4-man push it and chamber plays C.
Right here, he called that right. That was the idea that we were gonna go with is using this strat specifically when we're ecoing or bonusing. He called that right and corrected what you were doing. I'm guessing you were looking and saw that Chamber was holding it up and just kind of like that's what clicked 1st. You weren't very used to the strat, so I can't really blame you there. But this is good because your teammate was also watching out for you. It worked out well.
Okay, we can do D4. Yeah.
Alright,
Wait, so where
Chamber,
do I
you
go?
play
Where,
C.
where do I go?
You're
Chamber, you
with
play.
us.
You need your trap here and like hold this.
One quick thing, Entric. The idea with this strategy that I was talking to them about is to play extremely aggressive on defense. because this map's so attacker sided, the idea is changing from, instead of it being attack against defense, it's their attack against your attack, meaning it's more like a 50-50 than necessarily like 45-55. Right? That was the idea with this comp, because originally our IGL, Ethan, was talking to me about wanting to run chamber, so I kind of had to switch up what I was thinking. And this is what I went with.
Nice.
Well, also, Chris is kind of just aimbot, so like
He's hitting his shots, which is great.
I think that's
Man.
I think that's perfectly fine. I just feel like it's kind of good to switch between, turning it to an attacker v attacker, but also using ratty strats, like having 4 people hide backs bow house on ascent during a pistol round. I think that's also a good way. So like a bonus round can go 2 ways, either very aggressive or very ratty.
I got you. Let me open up. I don't know if I still have the link for the exact same one, but if you want, sometime we can go over what the strategy was. This strategy was a absolute rat strategy to get guns and secure a bonus round.
I love it.
So Omen's go here, and that's the blind. It's not just a push. That's my fault.
Now, I don't know exactly why I was watching Chamber here. I should have been watching everybody else because that's where the action was, right? But the biggest issue that happened here.
He got the
Go ahead.
highlight reel.
You got the highlight reel?
I'm pretty sure.
I can see from where y'all were at and what I knew was going on. Y'all got there at the last second. You didn't really know what you were doing. You half executed and then half of you didn't. Like Sky Flash went out, you knew somebody was there, Jet crossed. There was no Omen Flash. Was there even a breach stun? There might have been a breach stun, and then neither breach nor Raze pushed up with it, right? So I don't think I could find anything that's more wrong with this execute. Because you were trying to get that early control and possibly get picks while getting the control of that. Do we even get an Omen smoke there?
I'm watching it.
Smash, I'm gonna smoke you. Just try to get out. Try to get out.
Late flash right here. You called for him to leave, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but door isn't broken here, so it's very likely that he's gonna die trying to break that door.
I think that's what ended up happening. I died trying to break the door.
I figured that's kind of what it was, because the idea, if y'all had executed this, you would have just absolutely pub stomped him, and it would have been amazing. I was like, they read it perfectly, they're gonna do great, and then I saw this unfold on the mini map, and I was disappointed. Okay.
I'm so sorry.
You didn't have much time to go over it, so I understand, because we got like what, less than an hour going over the strats?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so pretty good.
Yeah.
13-2, we stomped their asses.
For what you had, it was great, right? You tried breaking, got out. So now, right, we are in a horrible position. We have 3 people stacking A. They know that we have at least 2 more people. 2 of those 3 people are on A. And they have the possibility to go from A to B, right? So right now, we are in a horrible spot.
Wait, I'm gonna go back B.
They're still committing.
At this point, going back here and staying is going to do about the same thing, because you're not going to be able to hold a site by yourself with worse guns. I mean, you might could delay them if they're very skittish, but playing off your teammates here probably was the better decision, right? I mean, because they aren't going to be able to lurk through with their current composition past the trip without Chamber hearing the smoke come down to block his trip. So that's not an option for him, and Jet's dead, so Jet can't throw her smoke down and walk past either. Right? So they're not going to be able to lurk through. So honestly, leaving B and then just playing off your teammates to try to get guns and trades is probably the best option here.
They smoked. Can you work up?
Big ult orb, Brim Mollier.
I love that communication. Good communication.
I'm gonna smoke that. Wait, can you work up?
Open the door.
Now here was just you were trying to use your utility too much, right? Because if Reyna flashes through, she's the only flash character, or Sovadrone comes through, you just need to fight with your teammate. You have worse guns. The dog here, it just got your teammate killed. That's all it did.
Wait, I thought you had me, Sky.
Eventually got you killed as well.
Alright, they took site. They took site. I'm gonna wait for you.
Chamber going for a flank here. No complaints. This round's kind of a loss anyway.
83.
Trying to get one here is good. He gets
Bro,
found out.
it's the 150 creds. That's an issue. Great. Tell me when you work your way out. Coach, I only have one smoke.
He's already in a rebel.
I like the call, coach.
He wasted
If he-
150 creds on a alarm bot, sir.
Well, he needed to shoot it, otherwise he'll be vulnerable.
Yeah, I'm not just gonna pull out my
Yeah.
pistol. I don't just get pulled.
You know, Pop-
Him
Pop-
him
Hello?
shooting that is not that
Yeah, that's
that is not going to determine whether he wins the round. In most cases, it's not going to determine whether he wins the game. In most cases, so I'm not going to nitpick on that. Right. A bigger issue here is you
Of course.
jiggle peeking the corner, and then you see somebody. So the brilliant idea is to pull out your knife.
Can we skip this round?
Alright,
Alright, on This is sad.
Chamber gets
The
one.
ace, right?
You know one's on site, and then one's over here. You probably shouldn't have TP'd because Reyna's most likely going to be able to kill you from either hearing TP or just pushing up to play with their teammates.
I didn't
'cause
hear the comm.
You didn't hear the comm? Well, you knew your teammate died to Reyna, and you knew Reyna had to be over there. So the teleport probably wasn't the move. You probably weren't going to win this anyway. The absolute best chance you had is running it down on site, somehow killing the Sova while he's distracted because he thinks you're top or something, sticking half, and then both Brim and Reyna make a mistake. And then you're able to kill both of them. It's unlikely. It's probably not going to happen, but this teleport wasn't a good idea. I'm just making that clear.
No, nobody for a moment. There we go.
Alright, D4 is where Omen's here and then has to blind.
I forgot.
See, I also like after the round's over, you know it's a loss. You don't worry about that loss. You talk about what you're going to do next time you do a D4 take. All right? That's good. That's moving on to the next round, not worrying about the past. All right?
yeah.
We have an op for D2?
Yeah, you should have that.
Okay.
You can buy light shields, right?
Just a heads up, Entric. The idea was to keep Sky and Chamber together at all times and keep Breach and Raze together at all times. So you have that really strong duelist initiator combo going at all times. I know
It's
Chamber's
definitely
taking
though.
that one.
I'm an alpha. I'm the
Yeah,
top
but-
G.
I got you.
Your goal, and then Omen's goal was just to stay alive for retakes. So he always had smoke and always could use his flash. Because we had a really nice idea to be able to retake with B using his flash.
Yeah.
But
I like
the
it.
idea with, let's see how they execute. I don't think they execute the C well.
Can't remember.
Yeah, you go A with
Yeah,
Sky.
next time, if you can, Sky, like, if you go
I
back
just
here,
think
tell me,
that,
since I was, like, open there.
Breach is going.
Right here, Breach just doesn't realize he's supposed to be where he's at. This is just mistakes made because we didn't have time to really solidify what we were doing. That's fine. That's a mistake. But that's something that's not going to continue to happen naturally.
That's fixed with time more than how do I say it? More than immediate.
It's just as you play,
Yeah.
it will fix itself. That's like your aim. It will improve if you play. You can go out of your way to improve it, but it's at a level where it's fine for now. Daggum, cat, you better not knock my laptop off that bed. Sorry.
All good.
No, he's a demon. That is a skinwalker, I swear. Okay, this is beside the point. Fodder view. Right.
Breach is C. Zeke, you're on C.
I'm sorry. Well, it's A, so I guess.
I like
Right here, Breach made a mistake. He knew he was supposed to be on the other side. He heard the comm late. He wasn't paying attention. Kind of on the autopilot, I'm guessing is what it was. And then he realizes, okay, it looks like they're doing a fast A hit. So he stays. I kind of like this, right? Also, with him sitting right here, it's a very uncommon angle if you already have a teammate on that side playing with an op. So
Alright, hold on, Thomas.
I feel like
you know they're not gonna.
Oh,
Go ahead. I was gonna say, you know that they're not gonna have an op here. You can tell by what they have their scoreboard is that they're not gonna have an op. So him peeking this isn't that dangerous. You go ahead, Entric.
Yeah, I just feel like this angle is a little common. That's the thing. and it's easy to have multiple enemies peek into you, especially with rushes. So playing a little more passive angles, if they're in this case playing more aggressive and more together, then it's probably better to hold more passive angles, not necessarily giving up space, but not not contesting too much of it, especially separated.
That is a good point. Something else that Breach could have done here is instead of holding this angle directly, he could have like just kind of waited and sat back until he heard util push through the smoke. Because if they're running it down A as fast as possible, it's very likely that they're going to stop right in front of the smoke, and he should be able to flash or stun and get one. Right. This is assuming his teammates do want to hold the site, and in this scenario, you have 3 people on site, and that should be sufficient to hold against a 5v. Like if 5 people are trying to push a site and you have 3 people on site, it's realistic that you should be able to hold the site. It's not going to happen every time. There's going to be mistakes. There's some rounds that you just are going to lose because you were almost destined to lose it. But this is something that is considered successful if you try to. Like I'm not going to complain and say it's a bad choice. Just make sure you're not doing it every single time. You know. And you hear he got one. I'm almost glad Sova threw that dart because he was thinking about peeking again.
From Molly. They have no flash.
Him repositioning, he probably should have said something to his Sky, so that way Sky knew that she was alone here.
They have no pop flash. I'm just gonna hold. Backing out.
Oh boy.
Oh,
No, what can anyone just explain to me what the issue was here?
didn't call their
Didn't
flashes.
call
Shit,
flashes.
that's the issue. He fucked himself.
And he's about to overheat right now and push this
Are-
smoke, I think.
Our 2 initiators, right? Like, okay, one initiator is holding the front of the smoke by themselves, right?
Sky.
And then Breach proceeds to come behind him after leaving and not saying anything. Walks through the smoke that Sky's already cleared, flashing for the smoke that Sky is already like on the other side of, which would flash his teammate if Sky was still there. And then Sky flashes as well, and neither of them called it.
Yeah.
Actually, Sky might have.
Yeah, I think it was the fact that they didn't call it. That was the main issue.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a lack of communication here. So I think the mistake here is pretty obvious, and I don't need to spend much time on it.
That's on me. I didn't know you were gonna do that.
Fashion's flanking.
Probably going mid.
I think what we need to work with our Breach is just communication in general, like stunning there. It's not a hard calm, just be like stunning, so that way your Sky knows if somebody swings past her little tight angle she's holding, that you're holding your stun, and you know you'll get folded like an omelet if they do.
He looks clear for me.
I think there could be stairs. Watch out stairs. Never mind.
Yo, they're coming B.
I dog through.
Coming B, yeah.
I'm gonna flash.
Watch me cook.
Okay, you jiggle peek it once, no one's there. That's fine. Jiggle peek a second time. You miss your shots because you didn't counter strafe, and he gets on the site. Happens. This is the 3rd time you've peeked the same angle, right?
Mm-hmm. Side.
They know you're there. What do?
He could get in and die.
You peek it a 4th time. You know the guy who I told, make sure you don't die, your smokes is integral for retake? And you've just peeked the same angle 4 times.
Hold on.
I mean, I'm the top G, bro.
Bet you whiff here.
So if
$5 right now.
Nah, I don't whiff you, trust.
so you hold the deep angle. I'm not necessarily pissed off about this, right? I will say if you die, then they can push through, but they probably don't know that, and they're very unlikely to do that, right?
One on top.
Your teammate got one. He's pushing out. You're pushing out with them,
Rebel.
right? That's good. After this, it's pretty much you just playing with your teammates.
No, I hit her 62 link. I think she backed out.
Calling that she was Link was good. Calling damage, that's good.
Corner, I just got one.
30 seconds left.
Oh,
Cage one shitty. One in our spawn.
Bro, I think he's going back here.
Okay, just this is hindsight. She did end up picking up that op and start absolutely dominating with it. since your teammate was there, you either play together or you possibly could move that op to where she can't pick it up. Those are options, right?
Well, I didn't think the jet would be good.
If you have encountered this Jet a single time up to this point, you would know she's the most cracked player on their team. It took me a round to figure that out.
Not me. They're all shit.
Their aim is by far the best on their team. Right here, you're playing. Breach needs to swing off of your contact here because you're holding the static angle, right? And you know they're on the right side.
I think he's.
Breach leaves.
Oh, what the? Never mind.
Just have open up.
10 seconds left.
Link.
You calm Jets there with an op because you heard her pick up. That's good.
They're running away.
One
All right.
enemy remaining.
Now, can anybody tell me whether this was a good or a bad decision?
I
Is this
personally
a?
think it was a good decision.
Bad.
We got the kill. We got the op.
You think it was bad?
Good round.
Enter. What do you think?
I'm still
It's
thinking.
KO, by the way, Ty. Isn't it KO?
It's Eneric, but it's alright.
Nice KO.
Okay, that too.
Okay, what do you want me to call you? Let's say it that way.
KO.
Okay, just call me Eneric. If that's too hard, just go with Kale. But
Gale, was it?
Kale. No.
Kale, like the
Yeah.
kale chips?
Vegetable.
Yeah, kale chips.
Kale chips, got it. All right, kale.
What? No, it's just kale.
Yeah,
Kale
alright,
chips. I'm sorry.
No, it's alright. It's all good.
What?
I'm not sure, honestly. On one hand, he killed him and the op is down. On the other, he couldn't have died and it would be a 1v1. The round still would have been won, however. So it's hard to say if it was a good or bad fight.
Right now, I know for a fact that Ethan did not open the scoreboard to see whether his team could financially afford for him to take this fight. So he doesn't even know whether it's a good shot or not. Like,
Hey, how do you
in
know that,
hindsight,
bro?
I was just watching your entire perspective. How much money do you have? Can you financially afford it? Because you won 2 rounds, lost your bonus.
I got bank. I'm making the bread.
You lost your bonus, and then you win the next round, right? That's normally how it goes. That's normally how they get won. You won your bonus, and then you won this round. You should have enough to buy. So in the end, it is an okay decision. It's not inherently right or wrong. Swinging, you got the kill. That's a good thing. He already has an op, so shutting down his op is a good thing. You dying, not a good thing. But risk to reward, it was about a 50-50, right? You felt like you could win the gunfight. You knew where he was. You wanted to deny the op.
Yeah,
This is one of those that is 50-50. That's why it's hard to tell whether it was perfectly right or perfectly wrong.
Yeah, so I think this was fine in general. It was a 50-50. If he lost, then it's alright. She has an op. He won in this case, so op is down. So I think it's fine.
I do like the high risk reward aspect of it. I've always been a big fan of plays like that. But then again, high risk, high reward. High risk.
I'm willing to take that.
So
Because I'm the alpha.
please stop saying that. This
Hey,
is
I'm
all. It's
just-
only going to
I'm
get
like,
worse. I kept watching you since you were at this middle of the map. You really do not want to keep saying that. I promise you.
No.
I'm just saying
It's gonna
fact.
peek, but it's fine.
You pick up.
Alright, let's try D4 again.
Okay. I'm gonna play through this entire pre-round, and I want you to tell me what the mistake is with the pre-round. Right.
I got you. In all seriousness, I got you.
Right.
The op. I'm gonna. Actually, wait. Maybe that's not a good idea. I don't know.
No, you can.
I don't play chamber.
I'm going C. Alright.
No. We're doing D4.
Yeah, chamber C.
What is D4, dude?
You're chill. Chamber, you're chilling. Play C by yourself and then TP out if you need to.
If they're
You're chilling.
here, you guys want me to ult?
So I flash. If it hits people, then Omen blind
not
race pushes. If it hits
yet.
no one, we don't do anything.
Alright.
What was the mistake?
Nobody was listening to me.
I just think
To be frank, I couldn't hear you through that entire recording.
Bro, I was saying
we were talking over each other.
Nobody was doing shit, man.
Yeah, I
Well,
couldn't hear you either.
The biggest thing that I'm going to point out is our IGL, the person who's leading the team, didn't open the scoreboard once. So now we don't even know what their finances look like. We don't know whether they can buy or not. They might have saved last round. Like 2 of them saved so that way one of them could have an op and then another one could have a hero rifle. And then right here, you're walking into an op because they gave you a surprise op and you didn't even check for it. That's one mistake. And now the second mistake is those 4 yellow little bars at the top glowing, right? I did not hear any talk about them having these ults. Sova ult is one of the strongest ults in the game. KJ's ult is one of the strongest ults in the game. Brim's ult is one of the strongest ults in the game. And Jet's ult can singly deny an eco, right? She doesn't have to eco for an entire round.
Hey, what about Reyna's?
It's shit.
Is shit. Yeah.
This is
Bro, she goes sexy mode.
In hindsight, I should have been calming that information because I was looking at the scoreboard to see their creds and their ults and stuff, but I didn't think to comment.
Hey,
For some reason, but
Your
I
IGL
looked
should
on
be
that.
second game, I communicated that, bro. For
You-
sure, first game, I was probably maybe like slacking off a bit, but on my life, bro, second match, I actually calmed that shit, bro.
wow. You were being lazy the first match because you had easy opponents and it was free. When you went up against better players, you had to try. Like, I'm just. You really shouldn't have said you're the alpha. You really shouldn't have said that. Right. So I'm guessing Brim at this point is probably close to his ult. It's very likely that he's close to his ult because I do remember him getting 2 kills at least. And if he plays for an ult orb or 2, it's very likely he can get his ult. So now you're going up against 5 ults and you decide to rush.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's what I would have picked. I feel like there was better options. This is mainly used to catch them off guard. And when you're on bonuses and ecos, this isn't like a live by religious type strat. I probably should have said you should not use this more than 3 times at the absolute most when you're on defense. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautifully executed plan, and I really do like it. And I do like that y'all used it, and it was much better this time. Like, everyone was ready to execute here. I really like that. Because we're going to compare this. Does everyone remember the 3rd round execute of this? When we were on bonus and they were on. Everybody remembers that thing fell apart. It was absolute trash. Right. Sky flashed, had contact. Omen flashed. Right. Raised through her nade.
Good.
Both Raze and Breach were playing together. The Breach ult came out. That wasn't calmed, but that's fine.
Yeah, that works.
Came through. He got 1. It's risky swinging that with Sova Dart and all that. He got the kill. Right? He even lives,
More.
which is the amazing part.
I don't think he
Let
was
me get the
able
gun.
to avoid that Sova dart because it came in just as he was peeking in.
Yeah. Realistically, he should have died there like 3 times over. Because he was in a molly, Sova scanned, and Reyna flashed.
That's true.
And all of his teammates were right there. So I don't know what they were doing, and I don't know how this worked. This is a classic Breach overheat. He does that a lot. I mean, shoot, we probably could have like a server-wide tally of how many times he's overheated in this game alone. Right?
He's him though. He's one of the top G's.
For now.
Any of them.
Yeah, we got the guns. We have
Right
the
here, he aftershocks. Don't really need to aftershock. You have 3 people. Wait, yeah, you have 3 people here ready to take gunfights. Kind of a waste of utility.
There's many there. On you, Chris.
Chamber, he lurks up with his op. He gets 1, right? I love the lurk. I love that he got 1. It's risky because he could give the opponents an op when they're on the eco, which I believe this is an eco. I'm not 100% sure.
kill you.
Right.
You're pushing alone.
I'm very surprised that the Reyna didn't push up and try to get the chamber, right? Because even if they get traded out, they can get an op, which is great for next round.
Sounds like they're going beam.
Yeah, I mean,
They're in spawn.
Reyna's a wuss, to be honest.
So he comes back to his TP, the one that we really do like. I do need to show y'all a few more TPs because it seems like this was kind of the default TP that y'all use, and I do want a little more variety in it.
I don't hear anything. Hold on. Wait, I have something
Hey,
to
I'm gonna
say
flash out
here,
there.
actually. I have something to say.
All right.
As we noticed, we have a trademark available, right? So if I was playing Chamber here, I would have left but put a trademark in like that C lobby area. Because then I know, okay, they're still gonna push me. Then I get ready for the op shot. You know what I'm trying to say here?
There's like mini rounds I just repeat on my trademark. I usually just place it on B though.
Bro, it's not even
That's
hard. I
fine.
forget about that.
This comp that we have isn't really designed to hold a site. You're using your trademark purely as information. The only issue with that is your teammates are almost completely in their spawn, and he's already watching half of C lobby with his op. So yeah, they could be sitting in the corner of C lobby, but it's a lot more likely they're pushing up through B, and you're going to be ready to catch one lurking. Right?
3, 2, 1.
See,
One enemy remaining.
they're just sitting in their spawn, scared to death because you're running that shit down like animals and it's working.
Yeah. Nice.
So, really, Chamber, his trademark should have been B. He was doing that a lot. That was just a common forget error.
Yo, but hold on. I feel like if we're playing against good players, right? They're gonna know that the chamber is placing the trademark there. I feel like half the time, they're just gonna break the trademark and just regroup and then hit somewhere else. Or
We
hit
played
that.
against good people last time. Our second game, we did. And how many times did they break it and leave?
Well, they're
Only
not.
twice.
Twice, like
And
once
yeah,
or twice.
Yeah, but they're not good people.
She was Peak Immortal 3 or
Yeah,
something like
and they
that.
were the same ranks as us.
They were the same ranks, if not a few of them were higher ranked, right? Their aim was match for match with y'all's. If even, I feel like Ethan, at least, I wasn't watching everyone else. I was mainly watching Ethan, Breach, and uh, Chamber because those are the most integral parts of this team comp. So I was watching them more, and I noticed they were making more issues, so I watched them more. I did notice, Ethan, your aim was a little bit behind everybody else's.
Damn.
I mean, that's not an insult on him. I'm saying everyone here has like cracked out aim. Like, if I were to try to aim against any of y'all, I'd lose. I know that. Right?
But just
But
except for
I
Ethan, of course, right?
say again?
Just except for Ethan, of course, right? Because he's the IGL, right? He got all the brains and everything. Wonder who
You
got
got to
that
be able to aim.
1v4 clutch, man.
I'm pretty sure was it a 1v4 or 1v3?
It was a 1v3.
I know it was a 1v3. If it was a 1v4, that first kill was free. We'll go over it later. Like, we're going over this now. But I just wanted to point that out while it's on the topic. All right. Everyone should realistically at least open the scoreboard and just get an idea of what's going on.
Wait, from the coach's perspective, can they see when you pull up tab? Or?
No, you can't.
You can't. I usually do pull up tab. I like to just span it sometimes just to look at it.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't hear y'all communicate about it at all.
No, yeah, we definitely didn't communicate it. Some of us might have pulled it up, but
even if you are okay, good catch on that, Kale. That was a good catch.
Thank you.
Good job, Kale. First day as coaching, you're doing great.
Thanks. Thanks. I worked
Um,
hard to get to this position.
All right, continue out Ultra.
Yeah, no more pausing. Pause once after each round.
Okay, we can pause after each round. This is round.
What the goofy trip is this?
Dude, what do you mean?
That's fine.
Once
That's
they like
completely
swing
fine.
it, I get information. That's all I'm looking for.
G1 B, Raise A, Omen B, Sky Chamber C. Bro, what is this goofy option? Hey, what was the comm that he was gonna flash?
Chamber can stay.
I already knew it was gonna happen.
There's an arrow.
I seen
right
pumped
there.
it before.
They're jump spawning C.
Alright, I'm gonna give you a smoke.
Opening the door on me.
Okay.
There are two doors.
I'm gonna play with the Braze.
Wait, I'm not pausing until it's over.
I'm gonna get dropping blind that.
Oh.
Go onside right now. Blind to your right. On smokes.
What about both?
They should go.
Or
Okay, one's tree. Both here on A. Look at that beautiful column right there, bro. I need to heal.
I think Chamber here should have broke the door to help them directly on A.
Wait, Chris, you can.
I don't know. That's why I didn't.
Nice.
Spike down.
I
He
think
was
it
A.
would have been fine just
I heard him
breaking it
running
with your
back.
classic
Yeah.
and trying to
Smoked
get
off
the
B.
pick on from
Here.
that area.
Could you repeat that one more time, Kale?
I think it wouldn't have been fine if BM just broke it with this classic and peeked out. Maybe with the trademark, I'm not sure, but yeah, I think just breaking the door would put pressure on them.
Wait, I actually disagree. Because we were in a 3v2 situation, right? Who's Silva alive, right? Correct?
Yep. It was
Yeah.
Sova and Jet were the last two alive.
Wait, was it kill? Right?
Yeah, they knew 2 were on A, so I thought I should just go watch spawn instead because they're probably gonna rotate off of that.
Wait, no. If I'm watching this, right, and there's a 3v2, I'm saying don't break the thing because information is key when the opponents, if I'm them right now, I'm like, okay, I know at least 2 people are A right now. Where is this last guy? That's what I'm wondering in the back of my head. If Chris does not reveal where he is, then we basically have the upper hand. They have to guess on where he is.
That's
And
true.
also,
Yeah.
let's say he did break the door, right? What does that do for us? Sure, he can hold that angle from tree, but there's a high chance that the Jet, like you said, is a good aimer. He can easily one tap him, and that's a gun right there. Now it's a 2v2. They know exactly where we are, and we don't know where they are. I feel like in this scenario, I would have had Chris just get aggressive C here and get an aggressive angle on it, get a kill, TP out, and then just have that last guy plant wherever he wants. Because the reason why I have him plant is so us three, we can regroup together. And I highly doubt this Jet can easily 3k Colatus in one shot. And he has to guess where we're all gonna come from. And he has an objective to plant the bomb. So if we don't peek him at all, he has to choose the bomb site. 33% chance that he gets it correct.
Alright, I get it. That was a wrong call by me. My bad.
Yeah, but that's fine.
You're fine.
But here's the thing, though.
You're given ideas.
You said that. Now we get to talk about it.
I actually disagree with both of you. I do think what he did there was absolute 100% the best play. He could not have played that better. Because what you had said is impossible pushing up C. He's already done that. So it's likely that earlier he had lurked up when it was a 5v3, got an op kill and got out. It's very likely that they'll be watching out for it. If you noticed when the Sova died, he was actually watching the direction where he came from last time. So him pushing up to B also makes it a lot easier where if they try to run him down, or if they try to make an aggressive play for that op, both Omen and Sky can get to him faster than if he was on the other side of C. On the other side of C, he's isolating himself. Yeah, they don't know that, but they still can try to execute off of it. So him pushing up there, getting one shot off, and like dipping could not have been better. I do not think I could think of a better idea for him to do. That was perfect.
Okay.
Good job, Chris. I'm proud of you.
All right.
I know.
Say in tree. I'm gonna go with Chris. Yo, he's beat. Let him plant. No, let him plant. Let him plant. Soon, let's just regroup together.
Right here, he swung around the corner while W keying and still got the kill. What was the issue? What was the mistake?
No comms.
Yeah, I was trying to get to spawn.
No, the communications were fine. Trying to regroup with your teammates were fine. You weren't ready for the gunfight at all.
Yeah, I wasn't ready. I didn't
Like-
think he'd just push me. Nor did
He
I
has
think he knew I was there. Like he just knew.
Okay, so what do we know about this Jet so far? Like from the rounds before, what have we learned?
And he just has 10 to aim, literally. No
He
brain.
has great aim.
Good aim, and he's aggressive.
He's aggressive. That's exactly what I was saying. We know he's aggressive. He is currently in a 3v1 or 1v3, pardon me, right? Last he knows, there were 2 people on A. The last one's unknown, and Chambers' trademark is on B. Now he knows that all 3 know where he's at in a 1v3 scenario. So tapping bomb and rushing somebody down that's probably the best play for him. He needs to do something extremely aggressive and extremely reckless. Shit has hit the fan for him and his team. He has to make something happen. Doing an absolute aggro play here is great. Chamber, what you could have done is when you hear tap, try to get over a little bit faster, be ready for the gunfight, or even hold back in waterfall because you know he's not going to flank you.
Okay.
Because you know he's going to be aggressive, right?
Uh-huh.
This is
He faked it. He ran towards him.
now he possibly has an op, a vandal, and the entirety of that half of the map. Right
Damn, what a crisp moment right there.
now,
We're out there.
we've talked about this earlier. Breaking door. Now he knows where one of you's at. Right, at least he didn't hear 2 people breaking the door. So it's very likely that there's only one person in this doorway, and I believe he tries to take the gunfight.
Flash.
On the roof.
Wait.
He just wants to see. That's what he is.
Wait.
He's trying to see.
Let me know when you're ready.
He can't see.
Go.
Spike
Do it.
planted.
It's time he plants.
You can push up. Watch out.
Reloading.
Reloading.
Gun here.
He ended up going C to plant because he had the access for that entire map. Because last he knew that there were multiple people A. That was a good decision by him.
I'm gonna flash to the left.
Flashing for info, clear right.
Minus.
Waterfall.
He ended up going around. That was a pretty good decision.
Nice.
Look at that.
I like.
From IGL.
Body shot, Barry, bro.
Bro, shut up, man. Bro just lost a gunfight to a I love her guy.
Okay, what was done right and what was done wrong? Here, what were
Gun right,
there was-
he won the round, and Sky
did win the
tried to
round.
communicate He was gonna go that way.
Yeah, tapping the bomb was.
Sky didn't.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Right, Sky called flash. They flashed back sight. Well, the watered area towards the stairs, and you knew nobody was there. You cleared right side, and what is the first thing you did?
Thick bomb.
Pulled out your
Jeez.
knife. You pulled out your knife again.
Well,
Yes, if he swings when he hears you jumping, you die there because you pulled out your knife. And Sky's checking left to make sure he's not swinging after dodging the flash, which is fine. Probably could have been a little better communication about sticking together, but you went right and he went left. He died from behind because he was more likely to die from behind since the jet's going to see him first. Right? You tapping bomb and then going for that crouch peek, that's fine. He couldn't really tell whether you were on bomb or not, so taking that gunfight's you won it. That's good. But you keep pulling out your knife. Don't do that. Not much else I could say to that. Like, this is twice now that pulling out your knife has directly impacted the round. And we aren't even into like 6th round.
Nice.
Get the op right here.
okay, yeah.
I like that he calmed where his op was.
Y'all see this screen? It was bugging out.
Is everything alright with the stream?
Yeah.
Alright, D1 chamber, here's up.
Round 7.
Okay, I need a button.
D1.
D1 again.
Okay.
Yeah, the buy menu doesn't come up,
Just stun
or
that.
the tab.
Zeke.
Alright, you got a peek? Alright, you guys can push. I'll blind you for you guys.
Alright, that's good to know for future reference. I didn't know that it doesn't come up or not. Y'all probably should talk about that a little more because we're in the same scenario. They have almost all of their ults. They have 3 of the strongest ults in the game. We should probably be talking about that and being like, all right, what are we gonna do if KJ ult? What do we do if he tries to brim ult? Just thinking about those things would probably be good during this part of the round.
Pretty sure she saved her KJ ult the whole time. She never used it.
You guys, Sebastian.
I will say, with y'all's very aggressive and proactive comp, it makes it very hard for her to use hers because you are commonly taking space from
I
them.
smoked.
Right.
What's the
Let's push up. Let's push up together.
Spike down A.
Right here, I wanted to say that was good. The flash, stun, and nade.
That
Uh,
sucks, Spike.
we talked about that, but we had never made it into a definitive plan. You used it, that was great. Here, running it down.
Oh wait,
Dogging. Nice.
nice.
Very quick. Like everything about it. Good execute, play together. I did notice the Rays swung wide on the outside without calling that to a breach. And then Breach couldn't quite necessarily win the gunfight with her if she had died. So, but besides that, very nitpicky. That was a good round. That was a good execute. I can't complain.
I'm no doctor, but I can patch a bullet hole or two.
Once again, if anyone wants to talk about anything that's happened, make sure to just let me know so I can pause
Where
it.
am I going?
A,
Gotcha.
Sky Chamber B, and Omen C.
Where's Tim spot?
Wait, so you say, where am I going? Sorry, didn't hear.
Breach, Rays A,
Okay.
Sky Chamber B, and Omen C.
I'm gonna wait until the end of this round to talk
Yeah.
about what
Alright.
was
I'm
done
gonna toss
right
this
and
all
wrong.
the way from here for you guys. Are they brim smoked here?
Yeah, at least one. I think
Random
Judge got
flash
that.
Go
in.
ahead.
Yeah, they're
I
coming
heard,
in.
I heard C, Jets
I
off
heard
it.
two. They're getting orb. They darted.
Alright.
I'm out. I got my one.
Yeah, that's good. We can retake this chill.
We can use Raze though. For retake.
Planning.
Planning.
There's still one on
Spike planted.
working
Gotta
B.
push out Sebastian.
There's one B main, I think.
Alright, you guys get clear out hall. Once you guys get to here, I'm gonna dog.
Alright, I'm gonna smoke main. Let's go. I'm alt back. I'm alt
No, no.
water.
Alright, go dogging now.
Yo, Sova back. Sova back and one control. Yo, Sova back. Sova back. And Ben.
Sova's is concussed in this box right here.
80. Someone's got a stick. Someone stick.
One more out there. No, mountain.
Stick it,
Give
stick
me
it.
kill.
Like, look at this. Stuven's jiggle peeking this. I don't know what he's doing.
He has time.
Yeah, I'm
he
not
doesn't.
sure
Just
if
got the up and
you.
run.
Yeah, I should have been the one holding that, but I was up top for whatever reason. So I just went for
No. We could have won that round. It's just I don't understand why Stuven's jiggle peeking while holding.
Okay, before that, there's a few things that went wrong. Right. First off, Omen, we need your util for retake. Why were you sitting in your smoke?
What do you mean?
You sitting in your smoke there? Yeah, you got one with the brim and then got out. I don't know how you didn't get traded.
Yeah.
That was a God given gift. Like you should have been
Wow.
traded out, and then we guaranteed lose that round because we don't have smokes for retake. Right. I like that you're being proactive and trying to get one, but that was like
Two alpha.
high risk, little reward because we still lost the round. Right. That play in the beginning and getting one didn't lose the round, but you risked the entirety of the round for that one kill. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to remember what your death will do if to the rest of the round if you do die, and decide whether it's worth taking that fight.
Yeah, if he probably if he had a shorty, waited for one enemy to come up, get a kill and try to flash out immediately. I think that might have been better, but
Sitting in smoke with a shorty and then just running after getting one would have been good.
yeah, I think so.
I
Because
probably would have panicked after seeing the two guns sticking through. I probably would have been like that, and then after I saw that leave immediately.
in that
But you
case,
got one.
oh, sorry.
There you go. Go ahead and say what you were thinking.
Yeah, in that case, you try to not um use both shorty shots at once and trying to discipline your trigger discipline. But but yeah.
I will say sitting in smoke is a very rat thing to do, and it can work out. Like there, it did. But the amount of times that I just take my phantom and just pre-fire through smokes normally gets me a surprising amount of kills.
Yeah, not too
So if you do that once, don't do it again at least. That's the most I can ask.
Yeah, not too many times because in some of my ranked games, I've been punished for that, and rightfully so. I would say that crouching within it is a better way to avoid bullets. But anyway.
It's a 50-50. Once you're in the smoke and you're getting sprayed, it's almost completely random. Crouching makes you a smaller target, but it also makes your head close to where they're going to spray. Because very rarely do people have the perfect type of aim discipline to be able to spray perfectly head high. The second thing is you calm to the raise that she should use ult for retake, which if she had used it immediately on the Sova on stairs, then that would have been great. You saw Sova stairs. Do you remember what you said when you saw him stairs?
No.
He said there's one there, and then he didn't cancel his ult.
You said there was one there.
Yeah, well, he didn't say there. He said Sova's back, and then he was in Omen ult, and he didn't cancel it, and he died.
I fat fingered it.
But he said there's Sova back. That's what he said.
Back was like I was trying to get the idea that the column was wrong. I didn't remember exactly what he said, so thank you for reminding me. But you should have said bottom stairs. If you don't know the exact column for that, or you feel like that's an issue during the round, the beginning of the next round, or this end game, or end half of the round, just make sure we all know what to calm that. Even if you're the only one who doesn't know what it is, just make sure it's cleared up. All right. Because if you'd calmed raise alt, raise alt Sova at bottom of stairs, and then you had, probably would have been able to win that round. But then again, raise didn't use their ult at all, so those were the biggest issues, right? And there was some miscommunication on the who was sticking and who wasn't. But that's going to be more of a teamwork issue, and that's going to help resolve by playing together and understanding what the other person's going to do. Communication can help with that, but you're also going to need to improve on that. And that's something that I can't coach very well. That's something that has to be practiced between each other. All right, next round. Anyone have anything they want to say?
Ops here. Oh yeah, you do.
Nope.
All right.
Which default retake?
Four.
Okay.
Four stack
Nigger, thank you for the. That sounded very inappropriate. I'm gonna ban that name.
Why?
Yo, Chris, what you saying, bro? Chris, what you
clearly
doing,
you.
bro?
I saw the soundboard icon sync.
Yeah.
You've done it before.
You got to stop, bro.
Oh, I should mess that. Fuck.
Goodness.
Sorry.
I'm
Alright,
convinced
why-
you're the one that added that.
I one way in. Alright, I'm gonna smoke that. Opening doors.
Yeah, I think he was kind of low.
Alright, yo, let's just stay loud. Just stay loud. Just stay.
Bro.
Wait for Chris to find and get the kill.
Oh, my leg.
I have smoke in 13 seconds. Silver
What?
Jets rebel, I think.
One enemy
Bro,
remaining.
this kid has insane aim.
Trouble, lots of trouble.
Okay, I'm holding that. I'm holding left side.
Couple things.
Yeah, I feel like
Go ahead,
played with Raze there to help trade her out, and used a util to help her get picks, or him to get picks.
This is the third time you've done that type of execute. And so far, the first one was poor, the second one was great, and this one right here was extremely poor. Once again, there's no talk about the ult, whether it was like what was going on, and that's one of the reasons why your Raze died. And then it proceeded to turn into an all-out gun brawl, which luckily you did win, right? Also, when Breach was pushing up there, he could have used his util way sooner, just immediately throughout the flash, because he has two flashes that guarantees the kill when he swings around. But the biggest issue is the execute was poor. Luckily, it worked out. And now at this point, you probably shouldn't use that execute again because it's very likely that they're gonna be like, okay, we either can't go A main, or we have to wait 30 seconds into the round.
Let's do D2 this time.
So I'm going
Sky
C,
Chamber
right?
A, Omen on B, and Breach and Raze C.
C2.
I can play my ult for retake.
Alright, sounds good. Good calm.
Does Kale have access to the spreadsheet or no?
Yeah, he does.
All right. The D1, D2, D3, and D4 that we're referring to is on the complete right side of the spreadsheet, and it just shows what we do. It gives the idea of like what the comp is, and then going from there.
Get out of my way.
Okay.
You're in front. Yeah, sorry, you're in front. I don't listen.
But pick
There's
up
one.
Chris.
Yeah, I'll flash.
So Brimstone
Wow.
over there, right? Don't peek, don't peek, don't peek.
Jet's there. I got one.
Okay, Chris. Sorry, not Chris.
I think the breach should
I don't have
also
smokes.
there.
Wait, Sebastian, let him get to you. Let him get to you. Let him get to you. Let's
One,
just
stall the push, and two, potentially get a couple frags.
Sebastian, let
I'm sorry, Kale. Can you say again?
I
Just
think
make sure
the-
you call for me to pause before you start speaking.
Gotcha, gotcha. I think that the breach should have instead ulted. That way, Raze could have the potential to get a pick with her ult, as well as that it could stop an entire push. Just absolutely stop it.
True.
The idea with this default that we had was both Breach and Raze take all of Mound up to the choke point. With a Omen smoke, Raze doesn't use any utility actually, and Breach just stuns to make sure they can't push up immediately. But as you saw, their execute was really poor, right? If Breach had done his stun at the very beginning of the round and Raze had pushed out, right, they would have been in the absolute perfect position because the read here was right. Calling for this play was absolutely perfect. You could not have made, not one of our defenses is better to stop an immediate C push than this one. So this was the absolute perfect read by the IGL here.
Easy. Alpha.
But the
paper
issue was
right
the
there,
execute, right? Now,
Hold on, I have something to say here. Okay, sure, Breach died, whatever, but okay, 3v3, right? Why is our Raze holding this thing? This is what I don't understand. Like, Sebastian, why are we holding this angle?
He paused at a bad time, right? I was trying to back off to hold like a really, really tight angle to see when they would be pushing to make sure like if they started pushing, I could actually calm that and then back off all the way to C-Link waterfall. area.
So, I'm assuming if you were still playing, right? You know that this jet's pretty good, right? You notice that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this. What if that jet updrafted and just one tapped you?
That wouldn't happen. He would flick her to the head before she could. So
I mean, true. Sebastian is a duelist, so I expect him to do that. Like that's an obvious answer. But what I'm saying here is like, why are we trying to give them a 1v1? I mean, sure, Sebastian, your goal was to okay, I'm just gonna peek and just get information. I'm out. But why can't you do the same thing if you're like deep inside helping me, helping on blah blah blah? What about why can't you do that if you're in B Link with me? Because isn't your
That
goal, right? Hold on. Isn't your goal, right, to hold this not that angle, but like the tight angle. It's like you know, oh yeah, they're coming on C. Isn't that your goal here? But you can do the same thing if you're on B Link with me, right? You know that they're planting, oh yo, they're planting C, let's do retake. But here's the thing, because you're B Link, right? If they do it and decide to push B, you're there with me and you can pop your ult and we win the round. So I really
yeah.
don't see why we're like holding this
I
tight
think
angle.
I think it's more of a mindset for me. I need to fix my mindset because the way I was thinking is I'm not used to playing for retake. So I normally try to hold site for as long as possible before backing off. Uh, so I'm not used to playing retake yet, and so I try to hold angles that are not meant for retake until that's absolutely necessary to stop holding it. So I will work on that.
Hold up, I gotta use
all
the
right.
restroom.
Oh, so Kale, you using the bathroom real quick? Or what did?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's what you said.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's okay. You guys
Don't peek,
continue without.
Jet's there.
I'm still
real
recording,
quick.
so
All right, real quick. Nade's there. They can't push through. Right. So at no point. So he can't get swung right now. He is 100% safe. He throws his boom bot.
Smoke, I need smokes.
Right. It's somebody's not going to have a timing to push through because of the nade. So right now he's still 100% safe. His crosshair's not in the perfect spot to take a gunfight, but he's safe. Still safe, right? He throws his satchel here, which I find this to be brilliant. I'm guessing it was on accident to boost your Roomba forward to clear out C.
Yeah, I was not expecting it to boost it there, but
It was when I saw it, I was like actually proud of you. I was like, "That's my son." I was like, he probably did that on accident, if I'm being honest. So right here, it launched your boombot forward, and launching it that direction is going to clear out more distance. So that was end all good decision, right? It's also going to lock onto the closest one there. And you saw that nobody was directly close to C. You don't hear any footsteps for the next 3 seconds or so. He should be safe as long as he doesn't hear running or util. Don't hear running. Don't hear util. Don't hear running. Now he's unsafe. This is the point where he's unsafe, right?
No, I know.
1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second. They have been pushed up here, and now it's been 5 seconds that they've had to push on the site with jet ult, and they have. It's not likely that they're going to push site because very rarely do people do like intermittent pauses before they enter a site. It's more of a high level thing, like waiting about 7 seconds and then pushing on the site because people's attention span, that's when they start to slip. So realistically, he shouldn't get pushed here. But for that like 5 second period after his util was up, that was a risky gunfight, right? He could have fell back to play with his teammates, or sitting up to play with his just get the information and leave isn't necessarily a bad idea. It's very unlikely that the jet updrafts and swings out, because if you dash updrafts, then what's going to happen is Raze is going to step slightly to the left so he can't get refragged and take the gunfight, right? Because that's
Yeah,
a
I think
pretty
that's what that would've been.
advantageous gunfight for him, right? Reyna's not going to be able to throw a flash. If she throws the flash high, then Raze can just leave. She can't get traded out from the flash. If Sova uses his drone, which I'm pretty sure at this point he's already used the drone, I could be wrong. If he uses his dart or drone, then somebody will have to be following directly behind it to refrag. And if somebody's following directly behind it, if he's going to hear the drone first and be able to leave. He's not necessarily in a bad spot here. He's gaining information. And because they aren't using anything to force him away, he's relatively safe. The only way he gets traded out if Reyna reads that he's here and like throws it, or in case he runs away from a Sova dart and Jet dashes in to kill him while he's running away. Those are like the two only realistic ways that I see him dying here. Right.
Okay, they can either full rotate C or go A here.
They're probably still holding C, but I think they might be rotating.
Right here, it's everyone's playing that one, like just get that information and get out type angles. I'm not exactly sure how this round ends. This is round what?
Be sure I get ran down with jet knives. Nice
10.
shit on.
Alright, Sova util there. You immediately throw a smoke. I like that. You come to hold him.
I'm blind, don't watch out.
Okay.
Alright, I'm always getting Sebastian.
30 seconds left.
Okay.
Spike planted.
I'm gonna just play through the rest of this round. Make sure everyone's paying attention.
Oh, this is where he clutches. So.
Alright, let's go together.
No, stairs.
One enemy remaining.
Alright, hold on. Let's go over here. I think he's tree. Can you ult tree? I'll follow in after you.
Okay.
And ult's good.
Yeah, he's over here in the stairs. Oh, he's outside? Nice.
Oh, never mind.
Okay, won the round. That's great. It was a 2v3. It was unrealistic to win. You still won. That was great. Right.
Excellent
I think-
communication by Alpha.
I think every single thing they did there was a mistake. Like the Reyna pushing up, horrible mistake, right? And then reswinging it again when she knew that both of you were there, because she saw both of you. Like that was a throw. That's when she threw the round. You ulting to push on the site, love that. It's the easiest way to trade. It confirms the round. It's close to the end. And I believe we have other ults to use. If not, I believe we can get one before the next half. So using the ult here is completely okay. I will never complain. I probably won't complain about that. I complain about a lot of things. All right, you ulting deep into the smoke. Realistically, Sova should throw that dart out and spray whoever he can find through the smoke while sitting deep. So you ulting deep there was the perfect decision, and he walks through like an absolute idiot. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if somebody had stuck, it might could have worked, but you never stick on the first one, right?
Yeah.
You almost never stick. There's like I said, there's just small scenarios, but realistically, trying to always get that first half is not viable, not realistically viable in most scenarios.
Not the correct way.
Y'all did right. The only thing I didn't like about this retake from you guys was Omen, you were holding a deep angle while Raze was reloading. There was no communication that you like Raze needed to reload. You should have heard the reload and known that. It ended up working out, so that's fine.
Of course, the alpha male makes the mistake again.
I'm nitpicking on you because I had to watch you the most since you're the IGL.
True facts. I love when people watch me.
Come here.
Oh man, you're maxing out. Can you help me?
Why are you
Good catch on the maxing
If
out.
they're there, I'll ult it. And we just all rush in.
D4.
What are we doing?
This is.
No, but this time nobody. Don't even flash. I want to wait until.
I made a comment earlier about doing this 3 times in a row, like doing this 3 times at the absolute max. This is the 4th one, right?
I love it though.
What else did I say with this strategy? That I said the only way you could do it more than that is if you
I don't remember.
stagger the timing or change up how it's executed. You
Exactly.
staggered the
I'll
timing.
take for
You
it. I'll
didn't
take for it.
immediately execute it. It worked. Like I'm surprised you were able to understand that they know to wait at this point because you've done this 3 times already. They're not going to rush A. It's very unlikely they're going to rush A, and even if they do, they're going to know what utility to avoid. So waiting here is a good choice. Like that was completely the right call. I don't know if I would have gone with the same strat again. That's questionable, but it worked. So only so questionable, right? This is round 11. Like I'm ready. I'm looking at my notes while talking. So good call for the late D4. This is Chamber with a aggro lurk. And towards the end, there's an issue. Got it. Okay. I'm gonna watch through all of it, and then we'll talk at the end of it.
I won't sit there then.
Time is it?
Alright, if they recon, I'm
Something like
I'll
that.
break it. If they recon,
Come here.
You guys can tell me when to ult. I have the full thing.
Alright. Push in 25 seconds.
I ult.
talking now.
Go. I'm on it too.
Nading rubble.
They're on B.
Not B? Okay, yo, we can do retake B.
Might have
You
pushed
put on
heaven.
Wait, Zeke, wait
He
for
might
me.
have pushed heaven. He might have pushed heaven.
Alright, yo, let's beach stack through their spawn, and are they planning yet?
No, I think they pushed heaven, so we're darted heaven. Then you
Let's
should
play
spawn.
main together.
I'm gonna wait till the end for this.
Zeke.
Come over here. Are they on C or A?
They're probably on AC.
Planning A.
Oh, funny, alright, let's
Funny,
free.
hey.
Spike planted.
Alright, watch out doors.
They darted heaven.
If I was on site, he reconned here.
I know how
I'm
to use
gonna
it.
trade.
Alright, let me know when to flash out. Flashing out of this. I'm gonna flash to the left. Oh shoot.
I don't even have time, huh?
One enemy remaining.
Unknown. He could be. Where is he? Where's this man?
Does everyone
This was a
remember what
mistake.
happens here?
He pushes out the smoke.
No one communicates what they're watching. They're just kind of watching random no angles, right? Everyone's relaxed since it's the 5v1, late into the defensive round, and you're stomping. Everyone's like, okay, kind of on autopilot, kind of not thinking, right? Silva walks out, gets 3. You have gone from an unlosable situation to a cataclysm that could happen.
Oh my gosh.
That's a.
Alright, I'm back.
Oh, I was just talking about how they almost lost a 5v1.
We're playing a loss. This guy sucks.
The only time that I'm noticing y'all are doing an aggressive execute well, like while you're taking the early space in A main or in C main, is when you have the breach ult. I don't know whether it's the breach playing different while he has the ult, or you have the ult, you use it, and then that's what makes you play different. but we need to start. We need to like maybe sit down and work on those executes and like just the fluidity of it, right? Because it's like I said, the executes that I've seen, it's been about a 50-50 on whether it's a good execute or a bad execute. And for an aggressive team that's going to be constantly executing, the execution rate needs to be a little bit higher of success. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Smartly played. Wow.
Oh, I didn't think I properly checked my smoke. I should have done that.
I love explosions.
Alright, let's do D3.
Last round in the half.
Also, Breach did overheat once again during that, pushing up to kill the Killjoy. He was solo by himself and didn't know where any of the other opponents were except Killjoy, and he ran that shit down. So I was noticing a lot of aggression out of Breach, mostly. Raze too is much more Breach. So it seems like Breach is the one who's having the most issues when it comes to communication, consistency, and teamwork.
At least one B.
All right,
I'm soaking, I'll soak you in.
pushing up. Raze is holding this.
I'll push
Okay,
down C.
have hey, make a drill.
I like the lurk here by Raze. Only problem is Raze can't get out.
Blind C, or
So
like,
drone
that's
did.
the B main. I'm gonna blind it. I'm blinding it.
Don't
Ready?
blind, don't blind, don't blind. Go, 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 go.
Oh shit.
Now
No
blind.
one's watching.
Now, Kale, this is something I wanted to talk about just because it came up. Do you see that Omen flash?
Yeah.
I'm talking to Kale.
Oh.
Yeah.
That Omen flash? We were talking about that. What I forgot who was it that brought up the B retake?
Me.
Possibly using doors.
That was Suvan, I think.
Okay, he had brought up something about I was making comments about how B site was probably the weakest for them to defend because it's unlike every other map. You can access it via 4 different directions.
Yeah.
Right? That makes it easier to attack, but also easier to retake, harder to defend. And he had made the comment about using the door, and immediately I wrote it off because I considered it a bad idea. You're funneled into a certain spot, and if they smoke it off and they just pre-fire through when the door's halfway open, you're gonna lose like 90% of the times when you're trying to push through. And I was like, well, at this point in our take, right, Omen was defaulting C or B, right? If he's defaulting B, he can rotate to C with one of the people who was currently on C, and then he could flash through while going through. Because that flash covers the entirety. So I ended up trying to incorporate that into our retake, which we haven't gone much over the retakes. The most that we've gone over is just our defensive plan. We're planning on going over retakes. We're going over our attacks tomorrow and our retakes
When's that hit 500?
Wednesday, I believe.
We have swipe. We have swipe.
So
Yeah, Vault 2 last round.
Is door broken? Oh yeah.
Use your old voice.
good call on the ults for last round.
CT.
Classic breach aggression, but his teammates are with him. So this is
does not care.
It's alright.
this round's completely redundant. So, right. Y'all did so well. I didn't even have to do a timeout because there wasn't any like large mistakes you were consistently making besides poor execution. And me telling you you're executing poor when you know that's what you did wasn't going to fix the problem right then and there. So overall, your defense here was great. On this is the attacker side of the map, so to win most of them is great.
Let's just
We didn't go over anything to attack, so y'all kind of trying to make up a plan here was interesting.
Yeah, bro. Dude, I'm an IGL, bro. Trust. I got the books memorized. Like, on God. Sim, you're with me.
Right, we didn't do anything on attack, so let's just lay it.
Let's all stay together. Let's get used to like where we're gonna be at for post plan.
I'll probably be
Numbers mixed up at some point.
They smoked that.
It's over at C.
They broke door.
Alright, Killjoy's turret is here.
Want me to stun?
Right,
I'm gonna flash.
3,
Like, hold on,
2,
pause
1.
for a second.
Watch out, Link.
Hold on,
Okay,
go back.
what are you
Brim is
playing?
still
Not
ahead.
activated? What the
Outside,
fuck?
outside, outside.
105 on
Running
Brim.
up, running up.
Link.
Oh,
Oh,
no, no,
it was on me. Oh, fuck.
oh my god, I whiffed.
One
What
enemy
I
remaining.
whiffed too.
hit 50. Oh my
Yeah, this is
gosh.
perfectly
Nice
fine.
alert,
The
Chris. We
thing,
like that.
one thing I want to point out is that if the enemy smokes out that point for the chamber, it, that's actually a bad smoke for them. If they smoke that out, that chamber is free to lurk as long as he pleases for A. He can cross through to the other side, catch someone off guard, and anyone pushing up through A main. Um,
Mhm.
they basically have no info of whether people are A. For all they know, you could have 3 people lurking or going slow through that smoke onto the other side, or just
Mhm.
staying on one side. So if the enemy smokes that out, play around it, you know that that's a mistake and you can capitalize on it.
Mhm.
I was gonna make a comment on that as well. That is, I don't know why people have come up with this giant idea to smoke off their own information and think it's a
Yeah.
good thing.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
I don't know where this idea came from, because every elo that I've played at and every like 10 man I've run before, no one does that. So the fact that it was in this one and then the one after it was just baffling to me.
What are they
I
trying
like Chamber. I like Chamber lurking here. It did great. It worked well. Y'all would have lost the round otherwise. And when y'all took the site, as soon as y'all had the site, you said nothing. There was like minimal to no communication. So after you took site, there wasn't enough communication. Like when we were reloading, whether somebody was pushing through smokes, stuff like that. But one Chamber kind of just came in and saved the day with an epic alert. So
One thing I do want to say is, I in some one of the future rounds, we call that there are some people A, and then Ethan ends up smoking it off immediately instead of waiting a bit to see if there how many people are there. So he like kind of cuts off our info for A, like immediately after we see one person. So I wanted to say like hold off on the smoke just for like a few seconds so you can get more info.
the only time you want to smoke is when you're committing to a site, or you're trying to deny a site, or when you smoke like that, you're denying yourself just as much as you're denying them. So it's really just a waste of utility.
Mhm.
I know what you're talking
That
about.
saves your life.
Yeah, that
I
smoke
believe
can
it's
that
This
smoke can
someone
even
came
be
out of
used
nowhere.
for on attackers. Like I would smoke that off and say, Chamber, is it okay if you lurk through there? It'll confuse the hell out of them. Or I'll just smoke it off for the sake of it and we'll go somewhere else. So it
Why the
automatically
fuck
puts
did you
them.
mute me, you stupid fucking? I'm about to get racist, bro. I'm about to get
Sir,
racist.
bro, you were
Holy
moaning.
shit, I'm about to get
Oh my
racist.
god.
Bro, you were moaning the whole time.
I was not moaning. I was smacking my lips.
you were spot moaning.
Okay, bro,
Yeah,
I
that.
don't want to see you moaning no more, bitch.
All
You
right.
guys don't want to bait the dart? Just like hide here.
Yeah, let's wait the turn. Good idea.
It's going there.
Baiting dart and going C quick. I like it.
Yeah, well,
Going
I'm
B's a
going
death trap because you're on you're on a
So I want
buy.
breach to take hall control as well with like a flash or something.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Wait for the dart to come
two
down.
of the easiest type of attacks to execute on this is doing a B split by going through A main and then going through door. And then another one is rushing C, right?
Smoke would be right.
This smoke right here.
Make noise. Have
Well,
Chris
actually, I'm just gonna wait till the end of the round.
Chris can fake it.
Yeah, you didn't really need to spam
went
through
through
this. You
A-Lane.
could have just lurked
I'm not
up
sure about that corner.
and it'll
Okay.
automatically deny them info.
I
Hold on,
agree
I'll
with
just
him
say something.
completely. Go ahead, Ethan.
Chris, why didn't you not let me know your trademark was not out? You were out of range,
Oh
but
my
you told me
god.
that
Huh? Wait,
your
what?
trademark was out of range, sir.
Which one is that?
Bro,
Your
it's your
trip.
alarm bot.
Oh,
Trip.
I don't know.
Bro, is
I,
autopiloted?
I thought it was my my TP thingy that got out of range.
Yeah, that
That's
is the
funny.
It
TP
doesn't. It
button.
doesn't. No, it wasn't. It was his trademark.
We're going then. I guess we're going.
We're going.
Don't need to wait for my dog.
Did not check the right box.
That
Alright,
is
let's
my
go. I'm gonna
TP.
push. I'm on.
Push me with your dog.
Okay. This
The
round's
TP
pretty
doesn't
redundant.
tell you.
Everything
You can tell me. Oh shoot, Silva joined.
everything that's really gonna affect the round here has already happened.
Silva's
Right.
on
One close.
You two running it down here, I actually like that because most of the angles here are long, and you have guns that are going to be better for angles like this.
Yo,
So running it
wait,
down together is fine.
Wait, guess what? I'm the one who called out, yo, breach and raise push holes. Just so you know.
That's good. It worked, right? Don't always do it, obviously. Don't overuse it, but it worked. And you had gun advantage, so you can be very liberal with the ideas you do. You just need to watch out for those shorties sitting in corners, right?
Hold on, I'll flash.
Flash it. Flash it. Yeah.
Everything that's really important has already happened this round, so I'm gonna try to skip ahead. Last round, what happened is Chamber. You saw two different people's type of utility there, or at least two different gun audios. Like you heard two people shooting, so you knew two people were A, right? So
Play the clip because I have no clue.
last clip, what is it here?
Right here.
I'm not sure about that corner.
At the very beginning, he throws trip. Chamber's gonna lurk up, and he's gonna find that there was at least two people here A. Once he found two people were here A, he could have immediately left, and they could have had at most 5v3 take on C site then they couldn't even smoke him off because right here, there's smoke,
Right? Where was that?
gunfire, and doors broke. What did we learn from this? What information did we gain from this that Chamber didn't communicate?
Well, first of all, there was a guy either B Link or someone from A was trying to get into B Link. And they know that one is on A site.
Wait,
So-
keep playing the clip real quick and listen, because I'm pretty sure I did calm that. Maybe not. Probably I have memory.
Okay.
Just make noise and come over here. Chris can take it A.
Maybe not this game, but there's the other game we played.
I'm not
See
sure
right,
about that.
right there, A Link.
Fuck it.
You called A Link.
Is that not A Link?
Oh, that's B Link.
You want to call him the one.
Wait,
That's
which
his-
one is A Link?
Bro,
A-Link is
There's no
doors.
A Link.
Site.
Oh, actually, there's
No, I believe it's technically called A Link.
Yeah, it's
The
like A,
door
B
area.
Link, whatever you call it.
It's
Oh,
called
no.
connector.
Nah,
Normally,
I'm
it's
not-
either called connector or door. Like that, connector is
Door.
very
I like
common for
doors.
it. But that's not the point. Knowing somebody's there is like, it's not going to affect your round much. Knowing that somebody's there, that
No,
specific
that's
spot.
called A Link. Never
The
mind,
information.
I'm wrong. That's called A Link.
Yeah.
It's A Link. That's dumb.
Yeah, shut up. I know what I'm talking
As
about.
the
I
coach,
want
I'm
all of you to
vetoing that.
apologize right now.
I'm sorry.
As the
Dad.
coach, I am vetoing that. We are now calling that a Badussi.
Okay.
Okay. Besides the point, I need to focus up on coaching, and I do want to get done with this VOD review here soon. The information that you know, Brim has to be either B or A. There's no way he can smoke all the way from C. Right? So he is either B or A. We know that. So it's one person there. Somebody was breaking door. Brim's gun could not pull out fast enough for him to break door and do that smoke. So we know there's two people here. And then one person was firing through the smoke. Right? We know there's three people there. At least three people on B or A. So we know there's two people on C site, right?
Yeah.
We have better guns. Call them like, hey, look, there's three people between B and A. Rush C. Because if they're holding shotguns, even then they can't smoke it off because Brim just used his smoke here. And unless he's sitting in B ready to smoke C, we should be able to, from where we are currently at, rush in before we're smoked off and then shotgun down. Right? This is assuming they forced too. But obviously it shouldn't. So at this moment, we know that at most there's two on C and we should rush it. And I believe two people die while we're taking C.
Wait, all right,
Dog.
we're going then. I guess we're going.
We're going.
C.
Away from my dog.
Lurk up here is fine.
Did not check the right box.
All right, let's go. I'm gonna push. I'm
Push me with your dog. Oh, where'd you going?
like I said, 3 people were there. I was completely right.
That's crazy.
I know we'd watched the video, and then I immediately went over it again, but it was obvious that 3 people were there. So now we know that KJ and Sova are somewhere between C and B at this point, and it's most likely the waterfall. We've won this round. We have information on them. We have sight control. We have better guns. This is a win. We can skip to the next one. Does anyone want to say anything about that last round?
No, ma'am.
Would you
No,
like to
I'm good.
correct yourself?
I don't know your pronouns, so I just kind of guessed.
Oh no.
All right, bro.
I mean, I go by
No,
she,
they
them.
not even
So,
be coming right now. Like they're just.
I
Like,
go
what
by
is happening?
Walmart bag.
How about Coach or Mr. Coach? I go by both of those.
let's do what about Daddy Kai? I think that's good too.
I go by Black Hawk helicopter.
Okay.
Oh.
I go by forklift certified.
Hmm.
All
Okay.
right, just a heads up. This is the only game we're going over tonight because I'm not staying up for another 2 hours to go over that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that as well.
This one has gone longer than what I've thought. So,
Oh wow, they're all negative though.
Oh, I thought we were making noise, just rushing.
I guess we just go fast.
couple things. Rushing B immediately on a eco is a completely viable strategy.
Oh, sorry.
Rim lane.
You called it.
104 on lane.
I'm planting.
Waiting through and planting or
Really low.
Yeah, I think they that Sky Shadow.
I need heal.
pushing through here was good.
Okay, Rene's over here.
I'm gonna wait for the end of this round to speak.
Over here.
I walked out.
Couple things, right? Sky healing through the smoke, that was good. Couldn't really do much else.
One bit, by the way.
Sky healing through the smoke was a good thing. Towards the end there, it was just mainly loss of gunfights. You'd already lost a lot of control of the site. It was kind of expected to lose this. When you're on an eco, or you're on a they're on a buy and you're just on a bonus, it's kind of expected to lose. We haven't come up with a defensive strategy to really, or an offensive strategy to really solidify that, because it is a lot harder to make an offensive than a defensive on that. Like I said, love the B rush call. Closest angles gives you the best advantage for the guns you have. Omen, you did it again, or Ethan, you did it again. You planted before clearing sight. They can push out of your smoke. You need to be able to fight with your team on that. And was it the TP was unnecessary? Just take the gunfight. Also, I did want to point this out because I just noticed it. The Jet's name is I loved her, or I love her. As soon as we saw that, y'all should have known it was going to be a cracked ass Jet
Right
name.
there, we should not
Yeah.
have lomped down the fight, and
Or just
there
went down
were
bad
KJ
quality
mollies
position.
there. I came across because of both.
I believe here's why I did a timeout.
If we're gonna do that, we have to go slowly.
Did I do a timeout here?
No, I don't think you did timeout first game.
I don't think I needed to. I was saving the timeout in case it started to spiral, because that was an expected loss. I didn't want to call a timeout on something that I already expected you to lose.
I think we should get Skydoll first.
Yeah.
Sky ult's one of the best ults you could use for offense here, so that's a good choice.
I'm gonna pop flash out of this. 3, 2, 1.
Right here, we called your IGL called for a slow A hit. Chamber stomps through. Sky pop flashes for him. Pop flashing's fine, but here, no communication between util usage. Right? Somehow that works. And y'all kill the Reyna. You should have died like 6 times over. Breach overheats.
Never mind, we're good.
The basic gist of this is you hold site well and win it. Right? Nothing else crazy happens here. You win the game. The util usage on that last one was terrible, and you called for a slow hit. Do I need to... Let's see exactly... Like, you were calling for a slow hit. Let's see exactly where the bomb went down.
Upstairs.
In here, oh, okay.
You blinded me.
Fire is crazy.
Yo, we gotta get inside here. Where's the Skyle? Where's the Skyle?
You were planting by 115. If that's slow, then I last forever in bed. All right, that is. I want to make that clear. That is not slow in any way, shape, or form. The IGL called for a slow hit. A slow hit would have worked here just as well as the fast one. But when he called a slow, you either need to stick with it or somebody needs to be like, no, we go fast. And then everyone agrees on it.
Guy said, I'm gonna flash out. What the fuck?
Sky flashing out there was the correct decision because Chamber was walking out that bitch. Right? Chamber was sending it. He already had stomped up all the way to the smoke, into the smoke, and was going to go out, so flashing out for him was okay.
It worked.
Once one teammate goes loud, it's kind of like, okay, well, everyone else has to go loud now. It's like if you're with randoms and then one of them decides to force, you kind of all got to force, you know?
Yeah, I think.
Otherwise, it's bad. So.
Yeah, I think it's just mainly sticking to the plan that was the thing there. But they won the round, so I don't think it was too much of an issue. Just for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Communication right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest difference between like the diamond and ascendant level and the absolute pros is the backing that they have and the communication they have. They don't make mistakes communicating, right? They make mistakes in gameplay. Y'all make mistakes in gameplay and mistakes in communicating. Once you make no mistakes in your communicating, that is when y'all are going to be radiant.
Yeah, guys, come on now. You gotta be like alpha male. Like
you guys, you made some of the most.
You're peak plat, bro.
Okay. So, does anyone have anything extra they want to add? Because this is pretty much the end of it.
Me.
Yeah, this is pretty much it.
So, all right, I just want to give like a brief overview of what's gonna happen tomorrow. Tomorrow, the two coaches can cook something up for attack. For Lotus, we're gonna have a scrim at 4 p.m. So maybe get like the lecture done in like 3:45, and then have 15 minutes warm up or something. And then on Wednesday we also have a scrim 4 p.m. That will be just finishing touches of VOD reviews maybe from Tuesday. And then we can work on retakes, maybe make a minor adjustments, maybe like getting better with the operator or like Sky flashing a different thing, or maybe like a chamber TP difference maybe or something like that. And maybe we can add like a few more defaults maybe for attack or defense. Other than that, I feel like
I need to say something, right? So, I have a dentist appointment at 2 p.m. on Wednesday. So I might be slightly late to practice.